Hey guys, Demi here from Atlas Vibrations, and I'm here with your full moon in Cancer collective update. This read is probably it is going to be different, and it is going to be the most important video that I am probably putting out this year. Once again, for those of you actually watching the video, I'm sorry the camera's focusing in and out. I don't know if, honestly, if it's the retrograde or my phone is trying to adjust to the lighting around because I got multiple lights because it's dark out and you can't see in here. So sorry. So you guys can listen with headphones if it's bothering you because I know I get annoyed with some of those things. So I probably will not. Hopefully, I wish we will not have enough time to do a channel message. This particular read, a god didn't even, or a deity didn't even come through for me to share this kind of maybe quote unquote lost information that I like to give you, but they have given me the full reins to take with this video because they're telling me that this is something that I am an expertise in and hope to share with you some of the things that are happening kind of right beneath your noses that you're not really aware of when it comes to societal things going on with the feminine. And so I want to start off with saying that we are coming to cycles of completion on a deep emotional level about needs and wants, and where that is on a motherly level and a feminine energy. The feminine right now is awakening, and I don't think that this is a complete, obviously a coincidence, because I want you guys to look at all the transits that have been happening and what will be happening within the next few weeks. And so we are coming out of Yule, which is the celebration of the darkness into the light. And this is where, obviously, the sun now, it went into winter, but we are now moving in the wheel once again, starting at this equinox and the winter equinox, to adding an extra minute of time up until we have to turn the clocks forward again in March. So that's the big celebration, and that's why the tree is lit up. This is why we light candles. This is why we put lights on the outside of our houses and enjoy the darkness and the remaining time of the darkness that we have, starting with Samhain and moving through this dark period. And so don't be surprised if you guys are starting to feel like you're in the dark, because we're now becoming more in tune with feminine energy to move forward into that. And so we also have Mercury going direct on January 1st. We also have Jupiter going direct on December 31st. So last day for those. And it's very important because coming to cycles of completion also, because as we move into the quote unquote new calendar year in a numerology standpoint, we're moving into a number 8 year. So energy is shifting, if you're more in tuned or not, or you feel it or not. And it's important to realize these cycles now as we move into it, because Cancers are one of the most psychic signs of the zodiac. You're talking to somebody who has a 0-degree Cancer placement in her 10th house. Like, strong Cancer placement. I also have a Mercury in Cancer. So that energy really does embody me. And what I love in general, and I can say about Cancer energy, is Cancers are very empathetic. It's a feminine sign. It starts with the motherly energy. Its symbolism is the crab has a hard outer shell with a ooey gooey inside. And actually, hold on, I have a friend of ours. Her name is Abby, and so I will bring Abby here. And this is my little stuffed animal crab, Abby, to remind me. I bought her when I was having an emotional breakdown, and I realized that I'm a Cancer. I have emotions, and so here comes Abby. So we'll keep Abby here. But so once again, emotions always running. It's a water sign. And the shadow energy of this sign is getting caught up in the past, playing the victim, over nurturing, smothering. And the energy, I love this energy because with Cancer energy, it starts with the mother. I call Capricorn in the Cancer axis the parental axis, and it talks about groups. And I find that even though Capricorn energy is feminine, Saturn in the zodiac chart is ruled by the father, where the moon is ruled by, like, shows the mother in the charts. And so it's important because this sign literally goes over motherly energy because it rules the breast and the stomach as well. So babies, when they're born, they kind of sit, like, obviously, yes, they go into the womb, but also it kind of protrudes from, it looks like their stomach is large, and also that's where the babies, they feed from their mother's breast. And so I think the coolest part, I forget what book it's from an astrology book, but it talks about how the Milky Way was created because Hera, when she gave birth in Greek mythology to Hercules, he kind of like attached to her, and because he was a little rough with her, like the milk kind of spattered out of her breast and went across, creating the Milky Way. And so that's a very great way to explain Cancer. And I think Cancer energy also, it this is where we learn first about love from our mother, essentially. You learn emotional, intuitive feeling from a feminine energy, whether that is your gendered man, woman, whatever you identify as. And so it's really important now with society and when where we're at now, because with everything that's going on, a lot of, essentially almost, and all of the feminine energy has been erased. And essentially too, we have been, and I'm saying we being me, I'm a gendered woman, so, and I identify as a woman, so I will say that we've been pinned up, any feminine energy has been pinned up and competing against any masculine energy, and the feminine energies have been deep down competing with each other and seeing hatred on all sides. And so with this full moon coming up, we are realizing the feminine within us. We are realizing that we are emotional beings at our heart, and we have wants, needs, nurturing energies, compassionate energies. That this energy, because this is where it starts, this is where and we see it first, we're going back to that. So you're seeing big cycles of completion with how you nurture yourself. Is your soul getting the things that you need on an emotional level? Like, literally, as if your mother asked you, what do you need emotionally? How do you feel? Do you sense something's off when things aren't happening? You're realizing that this is partially of who you are. You're going through healing of mother wounds, seeing where your mother may have not been able to give to you. Cancer also rules family. So you're seeing changes within your family, family dynamics. You're maybe realizing that, there's some things that need to be healed, that family members that need to essentially go away, that don't serve you, that aren't in this feminine energy, and seeing where you need to essentially take care of yourself more on a more emotional level. And so it's not a coincidence, because this, once again, I said, this has completely been erased in our society. There's a lot of us, and still people healing and understanding that this is where we are moving to and where we need to be. And so all of the texts, all of the documents, all of the things about feminine energy has been completely erased. Completely erased. This is just my personal opinion, but I feel that women, we have been, I have been trying to take on being a man in our society, still being in this masculine energy and sitting in that feminine energy, and the true feminine energy that we talk about in spirituality. And we all have both. It's not just about having one or the other. Feminine energy is all about the darkness, the day and night, going into the darkness, sitting in with how we feel, sitting within the unknown, creating the understanding and the compassion and the love and the patience. At least here in our society, in the United States, we don't know that. We really do not know that. It's really sad, to kind of just be like, to take your time to do things and to really get into how you feel and attune to energy, because Cancer is like, I will tell you straight out, a Cancer knows when you're straight up fucking lying to them. They know when you're lying to them. They know that when anything's off. They feel things. And one of the biggest things I like about Cancer energy too, and it sucks, but it's something a Cancer has to learn, is that no, everybody can't read your mind. Like, because you can read everybody else and understand what they want and they need and you get it, sometimes you need to learn to verbally communicate that. Like, Cancers, I will say, they are not the, I don't want to say the best communicators. Like, they can give you what they need, they can show you love and compassion, but a Cancer at times is, because it's a motherly energy and so giving, they tend to forget to give to themselves because they're always giving to other people, and they don't, like, they need to learn to how to give more to themselves. And I think that'll truly strengthen as we move forward. And so you're seeing that within yourself, where you need to give more to yourself, where your family may be withholding, or changes literally within your family dynamics. And you're seeing all of this. And I think that it's really sad because we're learning that, love is the answer, that the way that we've been doing things is not right. There should be no reason, and for all of this hate, all of this pinning against each other, and all of the things that is being erased. And so we're going through now, that we've been doing since we moved into 2020, with the shift of moving into the masculine. The earth has now shifted her energy into moving into the feminine, and learning to combine it together with masculine energy, and awakening to see that we need to go back to the feminine, go back to where we are quote unquote wounded and unhealed, and learning to accept the feminine into your everyday lives. So on a societal level, who teaches you this? And that's where it kind of creates this this imbalance. And I have a few minutes left, but I want you to think about this, right? You go to work, you have a job, you have a boss, right? And I know that most of you have. And so everything I've always and ways have said and realized, it starts at the top, right? The behaviors that are taught start at the top. So think of it this way, right? You come from your parents, they come from their parents, they come from there, but there's also other places and institutions where this comes from, and other influences on your life besides where it starts from, but mostly your roots start at the top, right above you. And so I want you to think about your work. It starts at the top. So think of the top, from your boss to their boss to that boss to this boss, and then it goes all the way up to the CEO of the company and the ideas that trickles down the line. You have your friends, which is also an influence, another institution, and you also have the government. And so I want you to think about every single thing that's ever happened to you that may have not been your fault, or whatever that may be. It goes back to the top. So essentially, you'll understand what I'm saying when you see these things, because sometimes things, you get told to do things a certain way and you're doing what you're told to do, and then you have that energy too, because Capricorn, on the opposite side of Cancer, brings that stability, that groupness, that wholeness. You have your family dynamic when it starts with the Cancer, and then you move into the father on the other side, and you have your government as well, that Capricorn rules your governments and other things. So it's something to just kind of think about, see how it sits and works through. And I'm going to grab one card. I'm going to do it quickly. And what is Spirit's advice as we continue to move through like these shifts, essentially? What will best help us? Spirit immediately said, don't give up. But here we go. We have the Eight of Cups, and this cannot be more perfect. It is time for us to leave behind situations where we have been feeling disappointment over time and time again. I feel that a lot of you guys have turned your back to old ways and are moving towards more of the cycles of the moon, which Cancer rules here, and choosing your own path, your own cycles, and being more in tune with the earth. And I will say this is why you guys are starting to feel more rhythmic. This is why you're starting to feel more in this energy, because once again, the earth is awakening. We are spiritual beings. We are light beings. There is no way possible that we can ever avoid the energies of water and the aquatic part of it and the flow of it, and of this feminine energy. Will always be in flow with spirit, and it moves and it flows. Usually I will say water signs, they have no boundaries. at times, and they need to learn to create. But essentially, what's going to keep us is moving in these cycles and realizing that the masculine energy within us will balance out when we choose to take the actions correctly and we do what's best within our hearts and intuition. So, till next time, namaste.